much for Australian casts as well. New teams or untested. Play what works, play simple, play for stuns. Don't go flashy until you are comfortable with each other. And I think Motivate have gone back to that. They've obviously picked their Tiny, they're very comfortable with Pain, Void Spirit, but then they've gone this Lifestealer. I think that's just more of a solid, well-rounded carry to establish their team into a nice fight in the mid.
Hey, just judging by game 1, I'm sure they're going to put on a performance for us in game number 2. Of course, Fnatic are going to be trying to take this 2-0 if they can, right? Yeah. They're not playing around. They're here to just get the 2-0 and leave. I think Motivate is surprising a lot of people. I know the panel's been harping on about it, and I know you've been harping on about it. But here we go. We're into the game number 2. Fnatic versus MG.Trust Gaming. And look, personally, I'll tell you what, I would love to see a game 3 between these two.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm a big fan of game 3s purely because you get that back and forth and then you get to finish. But are they going to be stopped? Are Fnatic able to do a 2-0 with Raven Gyrocopter, a hero that we don't see much? Like, we talked about it in the draft, we talked about it just then. Raven's one of the only players I know that actually picks this hero.
A lot, for that matter. And he does play well, from what I remember. He does do a great job on it. We're going to find out soon how he does perform. Of course, the hero's basically just farm, take a team fight if you need to later on, but just farm. Just do gyrocopter things. Jacky's going to be, I assume, doing the same sort of thing. The Lifestealer obviously needs some items up before he can be anywhere near effective. And this laning phase even, like, he's going to be up against Forev on the Darks here. You'd imagine the Lifestealer doesn't care too much for the Darks here.
I mean, the problem with Lifestealer, you don't want to be spamming Rage just to get rid of that one creep that has Iron Shell, and then it becomes 2 creeps, and then obviously Darkseer starts to run at your head. But you can survive the lane, you obviously have that feast, you get a bit of health regen. He's better than most, he won't enjoy that. You're going to probably see him quite agitated, stuck under his tower quite often. And we saw last game, he's comfortable playing behind, he's comfortable ahead. That was a brawly lane, so maybe this slow down AFK farm might suit them a bit better.
Mert run straight into Fearless. So the Void Spirit versus the Ember matchup. Now this is what I've seen quite a few times, and generally it does seem to go a bit more evenly, but I would personally say Moon should have a slight advantage just based on the fact that, you know, the Resonant Pulse can't really block out the Flame Guard of Moon. What do you think about that, Pogba?
I think it comes down to what we just saw there, right? He tried to remove the Flame Guard instant, but he took 4 tower attacks. If he has to keep doing that, then the lane will be lost. But if he gets those Flame Guard removals at a pretty decent rate, then he can win the lane. He has a better auto attack, and he has quite a nice spell kit to actually annoy Ember. It will obviously come down to Fearless outplaying.
See Fearless still on low HP, still top lane for Rev. Going to be there dealing with Boombell, who's pulling the large stack away. Because we do see DJ, he did pull the creep wave back towards his tier 1 and tier 2 tower. And, this is something you do with the Darkseers quite a lot, right? You just want to keep splitting up where the creeps are. You're going to make it very uncomfortable for Jackky on this Lifestealer and make Boombell get to work. He's going to go and just start pulling creeps away and back behind his own tier 1 tower.
Yeah, definitely. I do like this though, and it shows how much Darkseer annoys players. Like, it's so clear what's happening here, and they can't stop it. Jackky can't do anything. He kind of has to just cop it on the chin. And Darkseer's been doing this for, what, 6 years? And they still haven't come up with a proper alternative to pulling the lane out, throwing an Iron Shell on it, and just saying, come get it.
Of course, bot lane, see Masaros on the off-lane Queen of Pain up against Raven. It's something you don't see too often. It does pop up here and there, that off-lane quap. Raven probably going to be slightly annoyed he has to play against this, as Quap does tend to dominate the lanes. But I guess as the levels go up, the Gyrocopter should be a bit safe. You never really want to blink into the Gyrocopter.
I mean, Fearless was doing it last game. He wasn't blinking into a Gyro, but he was blinking into what seemed like everyone else. So we'll see if it's a team motivational thing, or if it's just a Fearless gameplay. But I'm very curious to see how.
At least Fearless does have another hero where he can just kind of get into a team fight. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see as well. Obviously, level 6 is so huge coming from that. It's an early level 6 for Mascaros. Do we see him rotate and just try to body this Spirit or try to kill off the Gyrocopter?
Dire's top tower.
And now Cogs and DJ just going to push away Boombell. It's funny, actually, I was about to just bring up the fact that Jazz is actually on the Phoenix this time. They switched off these two heroes, which surprised me a little bit considering how effective Jabs was. We joked about him dying a lot, but man, he really did just win out that game for Fnatic last time around. But giving it over to DJ, giving a bit more farm and XP priority now on the clockwork. And I love myself a pos 4 clock, I've got to say.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think Jabs plays the clockwork a bit better than DJ, but right now you need DJ to have that farm. His clockwork is exceptional as well. And I'm okay with that. Like the switch and roll, understand that sometimes you can't be the star of the show, sometimes you have to cop it on the chin. Where this time I think Jabs is going to have a way better game. Probably won't die 15 times. You might limit it down to like 8 or 9, I feel like.
Yep.
Depends entirely on if he just suicide dives for the curious.
Q does take the power rune down at that bot rune spot. That was the 4-minute rune going the way of the dive, but it doesn't really matter. Just an illusion rune. Boombell making a bit of a rotation to that mid lane as the Snapfire, but I can't really see much getting done with the Snapfire rotation.
Yeah,
his way back up.
It's an awkward hero against an Ember because he can just slight dodge the cookie. And yes, of course, you're going to get the scatter shot on. You're going to get a bit of damage, but you're not going to kill him, and you're just going to annoy him, if anything. And you might have lost another lane to do that rotate.
Okay. It's back. Boombell's going to be slightly wary of that battery assault. Of course, mid lane, we saw the Ember getting very, very low. Jabs will take over this mid lane for now. DJ, he's going to make the chase. Boombell does still have Cookie available, and Q is just around the tree line. In fact, he's going to try for a toss attempt into the neutral camps and just takes the bounty. But now Jabs is going to come in on the Phoenix, and they are going to make a chase onto that Tiny.
I think that was a 4-0 rune. Just looking at the side as well, I think MG.Trust just gained about 1,000 free gold.
Fantastic.
It's quite a heads-up play as well. You see the rotation coming. They understand Lifestealer, like you said, won't die to Darkseer straight. So they can afford to use both their supports to secure these top rooms. And then how do you have a Gyrocopter running away from the top?
DJ surged up. Another one of those nice little combinations, the Ion Shell and Battery Assault on the clockwork. It'll be annoying Boombell, especially on that Snapfire to deal with. Even if you do have Cookie, it's just so much burst damage. Well, not really burst damage, but just damage over time.
Yeah.
It tends to come pretty darn quick if you're not too careful.
Don't worry, wait for mid-game when it's a Gyrocopter running at you with Rocket Barrage.
That's very, very true.
It's only worse from here.
Cute.
But I do think that's their draft style right now. They're pretty much all in on this Gyrocopter. Ember Spirit, obviously, once he gets a few items, I assume he'll go towards a Yule Scepter, that Maelstrom maybe, or maybe a Drums instead. He won't be going that attack damage build. He will definitely play that fight.
Boombell, he's getting jumped. Battery assault, not going to be enough yet, but DJ does manage to get it for Forever with the Iron Shell, and now Jackky trying to get through the cogs after Forever. Forever still on the run, doesn't have Surge and will go down. Jackky, of course, will be just fine to get back to the lane, and that's another thing I was going to point out. Jackky already has his Midas up.
Yeah, that is a 6-minute Midas, or maybe 6.5. We'll give him the downside of that, but even then, that's really quick. The benefit of Lifestealer in a lane where he's not dying, it's very hard to now kill. He has Rage, he has Infest, and Infest health pool right now with that extra movement speed that you get on creeps, it's a get out of jail free card. That's what most cores use it for in the early game. They don't really use it for that burst damage like we used to see. So I like to see the Midas. I like to know that he needs to scale and he realizes that.
On the other side of the spectrum though, like you look at Raven, he was going straight for the Aghanim Scepter Rush, which is still pretty standard, right? Like, we don't see Jaras that often, but that is the general kind of build-up, and well, MG.Trust have smoked up. They're going to run straight into Raven. They're going to jump in. Fearless is there. Raven just melts. I mean, it wasn't even close. Just so much burst damage, but now DJ going to make his TP rotation in. Hasn't hit level 6 yet. There's just no way to keep up with Fearless.
Definitely. This is much better from Fearless already. Like, you can tell, I feel like he's more comfortable on this Void Spirit already, knowing where to rotate. He still has only one jump away.
Moon won't bother trying to chase.
Q though.
DJ does get the cogs pushed back. Enough, they'll just pick up the haste rune and leave it at that.
Will they though? Ooh.
No, they won't. Moon with the DD might actually end up going down. Does get the sleight of fist off into the remnant. Boombill getting very, very low to Raven.
Radiant's
And the
middle
rocket barrage
tower is
not going to
under
be enough.
attack.
He does TP out successfully. And Fnatic are unable to punish at all. In fact, Fearless is running back in. He literally doesn't care.
Yeah, any other rune but a haste rune, you wouldn't get away with that play.
Dire's
But
structures
obviously,
are fortified.
still not great for either team. They have to commit a lot of spells. Ember obviously dies for it, but now we're going to see the problems. Jabs trying to TP. I love this interaction, except he's not even TPing.
No, he's not. He's going to run straight into Q, unfortunately, and the Avalanche toss is going to be out.
Is under attack.
Yeah, you got a bit greedy. You should have just committed the TP, but Q knew he might just stick around.
Yeah, it just shows that Motivate are learning from last game. They realized they were playing, even if it's a different player, because Phoenix was quite greedy. He's looking for
Radiant's
farm
bottom
after where he
tower
should have
is under
been,
attack.
and he wasn't really backing early, and Q bets on it and gets another free kill for it.
It's going very well already for MG.Trust Gaming. Fnatic, they're going to smoke up. Back into their diet, or rather Radiant jungle, but Jab's already being jumped. He's gone. Fearless. Setting up another, and Masteros will take the kill on the offlane Quap. Fnatic with this smoke, they're going to try getting the chains off onto Boombill, but he's just going to make a run for it. It's only level 1 chains, and he's got... No, he does not. Moon will make the chase. No, he will back off. I mean, that's the smarter decision. You see 3 heroes there. Masteros was just behind the tree line going after the T1. It was just way too dangerous for him. And that'll be a bot T1 tower gone, and Fnatic, they're not in a position to try and get a trade.
Yeah, Fnatic are looking really, really soft right now. They're kind of getting run over in all lanes just by a tiny bit. You can tell Fnatic aren't in trouble quite yet, but they're heading towards that. And they're losing runes again. That's a 3-to-1 rune, I believe. Yes. That's just more free money for Motivate.
They are finding a lot of those bounties. Fearless again, just look at him. With Boombill back into that Radiant side jungle. Checking for the wards on that cliff. They won't get any. Probably won't bother trying for Moon. I don't believe they'll have enough lockdown for the Ember.
Yeah, definitely not. It works both ways. We're saying Lifestealer, Quap, obviously Fearless, Void Spirit card. No one can really die on Fnatic right now, bar the Phoenix. And Phoenix is very clearly the sacrificial lamb, where he is farming, where he is playing. He doesn't really care. He's just going to make sure he gets those levels. And he is very close to 6 now.
Here we go again. The chase on to Boombill. They have been trying to get this guy for so long, and they will finally get a chance.
See you later, nerds.
One to get the kill with the Sunray. But this is just so much space being created by MG.Trust. Like, Jackky has been uncontested. He's sitting at almost 6k net worth.
Yeah, he is quite a chubby boy right now. Obviously, that Midas was very early, but since then, he's still kept that AFK farming up, and there's nothing 4F can really do. We are basically just waiting for this mech plus 1 item on Gyrocopter, and then you start to see the Speed Boy launching in with a rocket.
Always a bit of fun.
Until then, though, like, it's Motivate's game to lose.
Radiant's middle tower is under
smoke
attack.
up. Try and make another play occur up at this top lane. Toss is already out onto Fresh, who's getting shredded by Jackky. DJ trying to help with the cogs. Actually does pick up Q as a kill, and that's a pretty bad start for the side of MG.Trust, but they do get Forev on the Darkseer, and now Jab also getting jumped on the Phoenix. Will die.
Radiant's
There'll be a double coming out from Masteros.
2-for-1, losing your core as well, and you're going to lose a tower for pretty much free. I can't imagine they'll back off from even with the Fortify coming through. Yeah, it's a much better game for Motivate so far.
Great. T1 chipped away at. They'll try for the mid T1.
Top tower is under attack.
Moon is there on the Ember, trying to get rid of that T1 tower in the mid lane and apply some pressure.
This is the problem though. QR highlighted this in the draft. He said they needed to get a tower. They don't have one.
They don't. Forev he just gets blown up. The Sonic Wave, Boonbell is being chased by DJ, but it's just DJ with an iron shot, mind you. It's a lot of damage, but Fearless, no, doesn't blow him up quite yet. DJ's still trying to chase. They will not be able to kill off Boonbell, but maybe with the chains, the Infest is going to be out with the Avalanche from Q. They finally kill off the Snapfire. Jackky will be just fine to walk his way out. While that's all happening, of course, the Quap just split pushing the top lane.
Yeah, they're not going to get anything done for that fight. And it wasn't even a good fight for them. They traded Snapfire for Clockwork. Obviously, the Clockwork is the POS core, but they're basically the same network. So it's how sad a game Jabs and DJ are having right now. Both so poor.
Standard support game, unfortunately, for them. And Moon, mid lane, just trying to catch up. He's trying to get that first core item on this Ember to actually be able to do something here. And of course, with the drums, he can get a little bit more aggressive. Needs to get that up first, and by the time he gets that up, Fearless is going to have the Yules up.
This is what I was saying though, when you have to go one core item, whether it's the Yules, it's the drums. He's gone for the drums, which is the most bite worried. 3. The problem's going to be he's not farming, and it shows. He's falling behind 4 players this game. All 3 of the cores from Motivate, and obviously the Gyrocopter.
Jackky, he targeted. There's a lot of heroes up from Fnatic.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Don't have the lockdown. They just send a homing missile out, and it's onto that tier 1 top tower.
Dire's structures are fortified.
That's all they can really claim here. I mean, there's not really anything else on the map that they can actually go for, but their mid tier 1 is being forced in.
Yeah, this is a tier 1 that's probably going to die there. It's going to start to rotate though. I just saw the Phoenix
Radiant's
TP.
middle tower is under attack.
Clockwork is the main man to defend though. So if he hasn't TP'd, it's pretty much a lost cow.
Gonna show himself, trying to get the deny off, but he gets Cookie stunned up with the Avalanche toss out. Moon barely gets out with the Remnant, but it looks like the Quap is making a bit of a chase, and Moon does have that Shadow Strike following him, so they kind of have a bit of vision of Moon. But no, they're not going to continue the chase. They'll leave him be just a bit too far away. Still, they got what they came for. They got the tier 1 mid tower. They lose no bodies for the side of MG.Trust. I'd say you're pretty happy if you're the Dire.
Yeah, and it looks to me like it might be another 3-1 rotate.
Jabs
is under attack.
Goes down very, very early.
I was just about to say it's 3-1 rotate for bounty runes, but they found Jabs for a 4-1 basically.
Why not?
Oh, it's not looking like the Fnatic we saw last game, to tell you the truth. They're looking a bit lackluster, a bit lackadaisical, just quite not into it, really.
Find out soon. I mean, Raven's almost at that Aghanim Scepter now. That might be Q to go, but Jackky, he's got to have a Desolator up. I mean, this guy just really hasn't stopped farming at all. Doing a fantastic job, and well, Fnatic, they're going to try and get into some aggressive positioning, just take over that Dire side jungle. DJ's actually right next to Boonbell at the moment, but mid lane, that is going to be Moon gone. And Boonbell is going to get jumped off by DJ with the vacuum out, but now the Sonic Wave. Boonbell does eventually die, but at what cost? For Rev, he's going to go on the dark here, and now a hookshot out from DJ is going to be cancelled. The TP will not make it. Q just in a perfect position, and it's another double kill for Massaros.
Yeah, I mean, so far this offlane Queen of Pain is looking
under attack.
more farmed than most mid players. So 16 minutes in, 7.5k net worth. He is absolutely huge. Haven't quite seen what he's building, but it doesn't really matter right now with how farmed Jackky is. His core can just do it all without him, and look at Moon. He can't really play this lane.
Nah. Flame Guard, it's not really going to help. Jacky's just perfectly fine. Make matters worse for Fnatic, there is an Orchid now up on our Queen of Pain from Motivate Gaming, so Massaros have a bit more utility and a bit more kill potential on this Quap. It's going to be a matter of whether Fnatic want to try and defend this bot lane at all, as they really have grouped up quite a few heroes here.
Under attack.
They don't look like they're going to respond, Fnatic. They're just sitting back, taking as much farm as they can from their own triangle. They understand they're not really in a position yet to make these aggressive plays, but there's your Ags up on Raven at least. You've got something going.
The problem with Ags I've always found is that alone doesn't really win. Yeah, it's an extra auto attack, what, 1.2, 1.3 seconds area?
Yeah.
But it doesn't really do much when you have no damage. And Gyro doesn't really hit that hard right now. He's probably hitting for about 110 per hit. until he gets that next item, then it becomes...
Radiant's bottom tower is
Bot
under
lane
attack.
still being pushed. They'll get it for free. T2 bottom tower. Not
Radiant's
so
bottom
valuable, but
tower
it's just
has
adding on the gold. And now with smoke out, they don't want to slow down. The momentum is all the way of MG.Trust. They're going to run straight towards the north. They know Fnatic's around their own
Dire's
tier 2
top
tower.
is under attack.
DJ.
I mean, this is how you win or lose a game right here. If they catch off Moon, if they catch off any core, that'll be huge. And
Nice smoke
Moon's
break, and
middle
Moon just
tower
gets
is
himself
under
out of
attack.
there.
yeah. But right now, they're just throttling the map. You can see where Fnatic are farming, right? They've got two on the top lane in that really awkward position, and they're going to die for it.
Yeah, DJ. That'll be the awkward reveal out from Masaros onto that clockwork, and it's a very easy kill to take. Of course, Forev just going to TP straight out. And G.Trust just back to controlling their own side of the map. Raven just... I mean, he's just doing the best he can right now. He's just got one job to do on this gyrocopter, and that's hit creeps. But surely they've got to contest this Roshan.
How can they though? That clockwork. Like, clockwork's their main engagement. I don't even know if they know. With the creeps coming through now, they should realize what's going on. But it's too late. The Roshan's going to fall by the time the rocket hits.
Are scared.
Got vision. They've got a couple seconds. They are running their way in, but they've got to jump ASAP. There's the Sunray, and it's going to be no good. Jackky, he does have the Aegis. Now the chains are out with the drop from the gyro, and they're going to at least kill off Q. In fact, Jackky is very, very far forward of the Lifestealer at the moment. Fearless going to jump in and let the invest occur onto himself. Sort of remnant backwards onto Moon.
Cooking the wrong way. I think they wanted to engage and kill Moon.
They're going to go anyway. They're fearless. They're going to go straight on the Ember. Moon's still okay now. DJ going to hook shot into the backlines onto Boombell. They do get at least one support. Now Jackky kind of being left behind, but there goes Forev. The avalanche toss from Q was way too high. And that'll be it. They get the agents, and they cannot afford to go for any more. They just get themselves away from this dire situation.
Nice pun. I like that one.
Thank you very much. Glad you noticed.
Thought you wouldn't let it slip by me. No, not happening. But double buyback for the team with Aegis. They lose the Aegis as well, all for a Forev Darkseer trade. That is huge for Fnatic right now. Like, they need these fights to stay in the game. And I think those kind of fights is how they win. Just really sloppy engagements, not spells being put on properly anyone. You can't really get on the back line. You can't kill Moon quick enough. You saw a Yules to dodge the Sonic Wave. And I think that set up the fight, using those spells to commit to a Yules Scepter.
The catch-up game continuing, but there's a 10k net worth lead now for MG.Trust. That's only been climbing.
It was just 8k, but they got another 4 runes.
How many runes have these guys got?
I feel like it's like 14-2 right now. It's ridiculous.
Fearless? He did use both his astral steps, but Fnatic aren't going to be in a position to try and capitalize.
And I just noticed, Spirit doesn't have a Yule.
He does not.
Someone Yulesed it.
Oh, that is true.
Oh, they made a mistake in that team fight. That's a bit of a problem. I'm not even sure who used. I must...
That's the panel's problem, mate. We'll
Must have been the
leave
Void
it to
Spirit,
them.
honestly.
Radiant's middle tower
It's a
is
bit of a
under
worry.
attack.
Jackky, he's just going to get started on the tier 2 mid tower. I mean, they've got the Desolator up, and now he's got a Halberd. So he's in like a truck, and he's feeling confident.
And he might as well, right? He's so strong right now. He obviously doesn't have the Aegis, but he has the Halberd, has some one charges. Even the Bracer helps him out in these kind of...
Raven was trying to split push, but a great Yule's out from Fearless with the Aether Remnant, but it actually gets taken by Jabs, who can just Icarus dive out. Boombell on Q. They do have to blink up on the Tiny, so they'll go after Forever. Man, he just melts so quick. He does drop the wall, but it's going to be no good. And so does Jabs. Going down to Fearless on the Void Spirit, and in
Dire's
fact,
bottom tower.
for Masaros, he's going to see an Ember.
Moon, this is not the fight you want to be taking, mate.
Well, Raven is around to try and help out. Hookshot not going to land from DJ. Great blink timing out from Masaros. And now the rest of his team going to be right behind him. Q looking for that blink. Does get an avalanche into the toss back on Fearless. Into the Aether Remnant. Oh, they're starting on them now.
See you later,
That is beautiful. That'll be the tier 2 mid. It's gone.
You know what, MLB? It might be time to start thinking about thinking, when's game 3 going to start? What are Fnatic going to come back to win in the series? Because 12k, 22 minutes in, they've obviously got a 10 kill lead, and the momentum is so heavily favoured for most. They are rolling in these fights. The only fight they lost was really a mistake on the Void Spirit's Yules.
That is true. I wonder though, like looking at these drafts, if you were going to go into the late game, say 20 minutes from now, who would you favour?
If they make 20 minutes saying at the same level of lead, I feel like Fnatic could pull it back. If Gyro late game is so scary. But that's the thing, will the lead not get great?
Oh, good. He tried to TP out, he got Yules up just at the last split second, but he's going to use his Remnant. He also has the open wounds being placed, and well, bot lane, at least they do kill off Boombell, but it's not really worth losing your Ember over.
Yeah, a really, really rough trade for them. On the plus side, they didn't have to go, oh my god, what are you doing, Matzeros? Madman!
Matzeros taking a bit of a note out of the book off. Fearless hookshot is in from DJ. Jackky on a mega kill. He gets jabs again on the Phoenix, and Jackky just keeps going. Forever. Get a nice vacuum off. The Surge, Fearless on the chase, doesn't have the Yules up at the moment. And instead, they're just going to settle for DJ and the Clockwork. Another nice, easy kill for the... No, never mind. Forever is going to die. Q. He just knows where everyone is, this Tiny.
Yeah, we're just talking about whether or not the lead gets greater. Well, it just went 4-1 and they lost Boombell. The lowest net worth hero by 2k. Quite a sizable amount. He definitely is playing that Pulse 5, Pulse 6 role that I like to laugh about, but MG.Trust, they're playing way better this game. Just nice, crisp Dota.
It is crisp. Infest going to be out on Q, which does kind of indicate they might want to go for some more team fight.
Yeah, I mean, they can kill pretty much anyone with this combo. I think he has the Basher as well. Anyone but Gyro, I think, can die to this combo.
Raven, look at the he's queued up the Divine already.
Oh boy, yeah. We're here now.
Aghanim Scepter, BKB, and a Divine Rapier for Raven. I guess that's the way to play this. I mean, you're talking about how behind they are. Divine's one of those ways you can get back into the game, and it has the bonus of giving you that true strike. So suddenly the evasion of the Lifestealer doesn't matter anymore.
Shows desperation though.
It does.
Like, we can obviously see the net worth, we can obviously see the kills like they can. But it shows that Fnatic feel like they're even further behind than we're realizing.
Radiant
to be able to
scanning.
not have any lifesteal and go straight right here is scary. And there's another pick.
It's just too easy. Avalanche toss, the Infest out. That'll be another kill going out to Q. Poor old Jabs will have to cop it. Just the Fnatic just taking the free space they have and using it to the best of their advantage. Net worth only keeps climbing the other way. MG.Trust, they're just not slowing down. They're already closing back in. Another bounty rune just being left there for them to take. But Moon is going to be targeted first. The silence does come out. Now the Yules into the 8th, the remnant of Fearless. But Sleight of Fist was there. No, it's not going to be enough. They didn't have a remnant out.
Another Boombell trade.
Another Boombell trade. Moon dies, Boombell dies. It's a great trade for MG.Trust.
It also shows what they're doing though. Boombell doesn't care. He's just playing these dead lanes like I talk about so often.
Radiant's top
and he's just finding farm where he can. His death's probably like 150 gold per death. He does not care. It's less than one wave. He actually gets caught. And they're finding picks without him anyway, so it's completely fine. He's just going to farm up an item. He might have a mech, he might have a 4-staff, something like that for a fight, and that could win it for them.
He's basically the Jabs of game 1.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Except with more farm supplies.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not by much though.
No, not by much. Raven just, he's at 2.5k gold now. Like, you're getting closer and closer to at least being able to... Oh, Avalanche Q.
He won't die for this, but...
Open wounds. Out from Jackky, but the Surge is just going to last way too long.
I say that, but they're going to come in with Fearless.
They're going to go after Forever instead. They'll ignore the Gyrocopter, they'll go for the easier kill. And it should be a very, very easy kill now that he's trapped in the tree line.
Another heads-up play from Q and Fearless, and Jackky. Did he even help there? No, he did not. Matzeros just salted him.
Yeah, Matzeros taking a very, very easy kill for himself on the Quap. He's actually just working towards an AC now. Like, that's just how far ahead they are. This off-lane Quap doesn't feel the need for anything else. He has the Orchid, he has the BKB.
Yeah, I was half expecting to see the Greaves, the Yules, the Ags style build for the offlane. But he's just like, nah, I'm a core. I can play damage. I don't really care. We're so far ahead right now. There is a almost 6k net worth lead between Lifestealer and carry Raven on this one.
Speaking of Raven, how much longer he needs to have that Divine, and even when he does have the Divine up, do you think that's enough? Like, obviously the added damage is really nice. In fact, we'll hold that thought because Q is looking for another toss attempt.
The problem we're going to find with his Rapier, he has no life steal, right? So even if he's wailing this damage out, as long as Jacky's on top of him, just keep him hitting with the feast. I think he actually wins that fight because the Abyssal, because the Halberd, he can put it on him free BKB. I think Jackky still wins that man mode before the Satanic. Or at least before the Golden Master.
Roshan, you're going down here to Motivation Trust. This is the second Roshan of the game.
The cheesy.
Nice little cheese. There is a smoke out from Fnatic, but unfortunately they are across the map. That'll mean a free Roshan going out to this Dire side. Of course, Fnatic, they haven't actually backed off. Even with this Aegis going to the way of the Dire, they decide they're just going to take over this Dire side triangle. And, all right, well, he has the Demon Edge up on the Gyrocopter, just going straight into the Sacred Relic next. You pointed out there's a Morbid Mask as well.
His Q looks so sad. He's just queued up a Rapier then a Morbid Mask. Not even the Satanic. He's like, man, I just need some cheap lifesteal. This game's so bad.
It's a tough one. Jackky, he's going to go onto the high ground now.
Jabs is careful, he's got an Abyssal.
Yeah, they jump in Jabs. Just can't get an egg off in time. He
has buyout, but you basically use a buyout for a 30-second cooldown Abyssal. Or what is it, 35? I think it's 30. But either way, like, you're using it for a cooldown of an item, no big ultimates used, no big spells used, and Jacky's just going to keep
He is. They're going to jump in. Avalanche toss. Q again setting up on Moon, but now the hook shot in from DJ. He lands on two with the Cox pushback. MG.Trust on the way out. That'll be it. They don't want to go any further, it seems. Just happy with the tier 3 tower for now.
Yeah, they did repel them, so that is something, like a decent fight all in all. But the problem is, yeah, you repelled them, you forced a buyback, you did die as well. You got nothing out of it. You got one BKB charge out of Masarock.
They are really giving...
Oh, not the Abyssal again.
Oh, there is the Abyssal. Moon, no bounty rune for you, sir. Off you go. It's just the story of this game. I mean, you've brought it up 3. I mean, we need a count of these bounties. They have gotten so much gold from these bounty runes. The side of the Dire.
Yeah, no, this is exclusively why people hire Pimp Knuckle, right? For that bounty rune counter.
Yeah, he is good. Raven gonna be forced to BKB and just run his way out of there. So not exactly how he wants to commit these BKB charges, but you've got no choice, especially when you're getting this close to picking up the full Divine. You just can't afford to die as this Gyro.
Yeah, I mean, even if he dies now, I feel like the game's not being saved.
Radiant's top barracks are
It's so hard for them to play from here. And Jackky, like you can see, he's got the MKB all but ready.
Radiant's top
He will most likely have to wait for Aegis to pop before he actually switches it out. I don't know if he wants to sell anything. Yeah, another Rax. Here we go.
It's free. Nobody's defending.
Oh, I was gonna go. It's free. I feel like no one but Australia, New Zealand people will understand that ad campaign that ran for God knows how long.
Radiant's middle barracks.
That'll be the second Rax going down now. Raven just trying to get the Divine to be able to take one last team fight, but they're gonna lose all lanes of Rax if they don't hurry up.
Sell it all, man. Sell the treads, sell the race bands, get into this fight. You need to, because like you said, this is Megas.
You don't need boots if you're in your base anyway. I mean, there it is. He does pick it up now. The BKB going to be forced out from the quad.
It's still Megas though.
Yeah, they're going to find the Megas. There it is, and they're just backing off. They don't want the fight.
Oh boy, I feel like this is either going to end in the next 3 minutes, or it's going to take 30 minutes for them to push past Raven.
Either way.
Oh boy, that build looks so sad. He has 3 items.
He's doing the best he can in these circumstances.
He does have a Paladin sword though, so he has that free lifesteal, which when he eventually gets Satanic will be incredibly hard to deal with.
It's very, very true. That's one thing to look forward to here for Raven.
That's about it. That's about all he has to look forward to. Oh, it's just one of those games where you look at your team, you're like, oh man, everyone's so poor.
As long as they can hold the base, as long as that Ancient's alive, nothing's, this game is not over, and they're gonna smoke up now.
Yeah, we have seen worse, but they are getting...
Slow jump straight with the invest bomb. Raven's gone, the Divine's on the deck. This game is all but over. Two gone, they've called the GG, they have had enough.
I mean, you lose the rapier, it's about to be, it's a 45k net worth. Yeah, that's just icing on the cake, those extra kills they got. But